Peace, love, and reparations. Welcome to Black Star TV 2.0. It's your boy Black Star. Come in and hit that like button, that subscribe button. Please make sure y'all share this out and go to blackstartv.store. That's blackstartv.store. Go cop your merch. What's going on, family? Listen, we got to get these immigrants up out of here, and Trump has to push them out even faster than he has been doing. He's been doing an all right job, I guess, but they have to get up out of here faster. And there was a story out of Mississippi that I want to share with y'all that is crazy, and it's about these white South Africans coming to Mississippi and displacing the black workers. So I'm gonna play this video. This is deep, family, and this is why this immigration and these Democrats, we got to get the hell away from them. And I'm going to also show a couple other videos as well that go with this as well. So give me 1 second.
You know, you have some help, you gotta have some tough days, you have some good days, you know.
David Crawford of Lambert worked in these fields for at least 20 years. Then, about 5 years ago, he noticed something different, something odd.
Knows a lot of South African guys coming down this way, and they taking over their jobs too.
Taking over jobs he had. Attorney Ty Pinkins started hearing similar stories in Sunflower County. Soon, the entire Delta was abuzz with stories of foreigners replacing local farm workers.
They were telling us that they didn't understand why they were getting fired from working on the farm at the same time that white South Africans were showing up on the farm.
Pinkins began investigating and found some shocking facts. He found Delta farmers abusing a government visa program for foreign workers, a program that made farmers promise 3 things.
Farm owners are breaking all 3 rules, all of them. First, they're not reaching out to local farm workers before they bring over H2-A workers. So they're lying to the federal government and saying that they are. They're bringing over the H2-A workers and paying them the $12.55 an hour, while still paying the local black workers here on the farms $7.25 an hour.
Now, family, I'm going to be honest. Who the hell is still even accepting $7 and something cents? And yo, this is what I mean by, like, when people tell you just, you know, oh, anything's better than nothing. Like, no, it's really not. And these people come over here, and I'm going to share another video of the immigration, the Center of Immigration Research, which is going to show that this dude isn't lying, that they did the research and it truly suppresses the wage levels of the immigrants coming in, and it affects the black workers' wage levels. But who the hell can live off $7 an hour in this economy in 2025?
And $8 an hour.
Farmers discovered the H2-A visa program over a decade ago and have increased their use of it every year, according to research from the nonprofit Mississippi Today.
Farm owners, they hire a third party, an intermediary, to recruit these farm workers. And I've traveled all over the Delta. And
that's a staffing agency. And I got a video on that. I literally have a video on that where I say the staffing agencies, oh my God, I want to show y'all so bad, but I have a video talking about the staffing agencies and how they are used to bring these immigrants and do the hiring for these companies. Yo, I'm telling you, it's a slick move, and it's a way. It's almost like this that checker thing that they got to do your background check, right? A lot of these companies use checker. So checker determines whether your background is approved or not. So you can't sue the company anymore for discrimination for not hiring you based off your background check. You would have to go after checker. You see what I'm saying? So it's like a way for them to, like, yo, slick.
And I can tell you that there are up to 100 or more farm owners in the Delta that use the H2-A program.
The Mississippi Today investigation found them in every farming sector, too, with potato farming showing a whopping 44% violations of the law. But Pickens believes that's only the tip of the iceberg. Why? Because since 2005, the Labor Department has investigated only 1% of Mississippi farms, but it found of those farms it investigated, 81% violated the law.
Nobody's holding farmers accountable here in the Mississippi Delta.
Pickens filed lawsuits against some of the biggest violators and recently testified before a congressional committee about the problem.
These changes have been extremely detrimental to local farm workers. Despite all the laws and regulations designed to protect American workers against unfair competition from H2A workers, local farm workers in the Delta have been displaced as area farmers each year import more and more foreign workers.
It got the attention of U.S. Labor Secretary Marty Walsh, who came to visit the Delta last month.
But when the unemployment rate is 14% in a region, then that doesn't justify going outside and bring workers in.
And Pickens says the wrongs committed by Delta farmers don't stop there.
Right over in Humphreys County, which is right next door to this county, we've heard farm workers telling us that farm owners are allowing white South Africans to use the restroom inside the building and forcing local black workers to use the restroom outside in the environment.
The Delta News couldn't find farm owners willing to comment for the record, but at least one told Mississippi Today farmers turned to the visa program in response to a generational shift from farming and a shortage of willing labor. Why do the South Africans come here? Because they're paying U.S. dollars.
Yeah, listen, nobody wants to go out there and sit there and work for $7 an hour. You goddamn right. Yeah, that's why you short on labor and short on people who want to work and do the job, because you're not paying. That's a simple, listen, that's a simple solution. Let me back that up, bro. He just said some craziness.
From farming and a shortage of willing labor. Why do the South Africans come here? Because they're paying U.S. dollars amounts to 15 times more than they could make back home. But even the South Africans have had complaints. Two filed a lawsuit over a so-called bait and
Family, I said that. I said they come, I swear to God, you can go back a couple videos. I said they come over here and they willing to take that little bit of money until they realize that it will not get you nowhere over here in the United States. Now, if you was able to make that money here and still live with the wages from back home, yeah, you would be balling. But the simple fact that you have to now take $12 an hour and use it in the US economy, yeah, nigga, that shit ain't gonna do nothing for you. $12 an hour, $7 an hour, $8 an hour, all of that, man, I'll even say $20 an hour ain't doing nothing for nobody. You might can live off $20 an hour if you are a single person with no kids, no girlfriend, no nothing. It's just you. And I'm telling you, you living in the efficiency. You're not living in a one-bedroom apartment. Like, that shit is an efficiency. Yeah, so yeah, you can't live off this stuff. And hold on, let me play something before I even finish this. Let me play something for y'all. Now, this is the Center of Immigration. Now, oh, I'm sorry, family. I never even I never even shared the screen. I'm sorry. But we got to, now I'm going to go back to this one.
And switch where they say they got a promise of farm work but ended up driving trucks and making less than other truckers. Pinkins says it has to stop.
For far too long, community members in Sunflower County and surrounding counties, Humphreys, Yazoo, Sharkey, Issaquena, LaFleur, Coahoma County, they have been cheated out of their wages because of practices by white farm owners in the Delta, and they need their day in court.
So Pinkins began documenting the problem and filing lawsuits where he finds violations. One lawsuit against the Pitts family in Indianola brought this response to Mississippi Today from the family's lawyer. We strongly disagree with the plaintiff's claims, and we look forward to presenting the full set of facts in the course of litigation and having this matter decided according to the law, said attorney Tom Threadgill. But David Crawford says for him, the damage is already done. He left farming about 5 years ago after not being able to support his family on $7.50 an hour.
What was that like trying to live on that?
Oh, it was so terrible.
Yeah, I know it was terrible. Because can't nobody live off no $7.50 an hour. And shout out to that brother. I hope he working somewhere getting a livable wage. Because who the hell can live off that? That's crazy. But yeah, they're definitely displacing us and they got to go. This is a real thing. These people that just, and that other video, this video right here, where they was talking about the immigration, I forgot to switch the video. Yeah, this was back in 2016.
Either. We had one witness who testified that after he had run the numbers, he found that 30% of the decline in labor participation rates among black workers over 3 decades was attributable to competition from illegal immigration. It comes to nearly 1 million fewer jobs for black Americans as a result of the competition from illegal immigrants. And it's not just the employment levels, it's the wage levels also. And I can only give you a few examples, but we had evidence from the Fed in Atlanta, which did a study on this, to show that illegal immigrants depressed wages. The competition from illegal immigrants depressed wages by $960 on average, but in certain sectors, such as the hospitality industry, the depression of wage levels was $1,560. And because black workers were disproportionately concentrated in those areas, they were disproportionately affected.
Now, family, I tell you, we got to get, and this is what the Democrats do. They are strictly for illegal immigrants. They do everything for illegal immigrants. And I want to show y'all something. See, because as you can see on this thing, it says that California is spending $9.5 billion on healthcare for illegal immigrants while facing a $30 billion deficit. But listen to what they say when it comes to our reparations in California.
Not included in any of the reparations bills this year. Direct cash payments. Democratic leaders overseeing the state budget process say they would have liked to advance more reparations bills, but they add it just would have been too costly as the state faces a projected multi-billion-dollar deficit.
It's just a challenging budget time, and so we needed to be responsible with taxpayers' money. So that's why we had to make some tough calls.
Responsible with taxpayers' money. Really? So you call spending $9 billion on health care for illegal immigrants good spending with taxpayer dollars? You see, this is why we're not going for any of the excuses no more. You guys come up with all of this BS when it comes to us, but then when it comes to everybody else, you pass that money off. Yeah, you constantly pass that money off. Please hit that like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel, family, please. And go to blackstartv.store as well. So we're not going to sit here and let these Democrats finesse us and try to act like, you know, you're for this whole reparation thing. But really, your whole purpose and point is to make sure you don't give us reparations while doing everything for immigrants. Yo, they get cash assistance. They're getting food stamps. They're getting housing. Yo, they're getting everything. You name it. Health care. They're getting absolutely everything while we have to sit back and sit here and fight for everybody else while they get all the resources. Then when it's come time to get the resources, everybody's divvying out the resources, but we ain't getting none. No. Those days are over, family. And we are going to push up on these people. I don't want to hear anything about deficits, anything about you know, all these $1 trillion of debt. Y'all can save that. No matter how much debt you're in, you still, even the federal government, now we're talking about California, the state government, you still find a way to pass out money no matter how much debt you're in. And then listen to the stuff that they say to us. These are Democrats. These are Democrats, family. Yeah, these aren't Republicans sitting here doing this. And I'm not sitting here trying to make it and take up for Republicans at all. Because, you know, we get on everybody's top. I don't care who you are. Shit, you could be a foundational Black American. You out here cooning, we cooking you. Yeah, so, yeah, these illegal immigrants got to get up out of here. Y'all spending way too much money on these people. Y'all spending way too much. And we don't get any kickback from any of our tax dollars that's going out. They're getting 100% of all the tax dollars that's coming out of our checks. Like, nah, no. But yeah, family, listen, this is really displacing a lot of our people. Again, even if it's the people at the bottom, that's our people still. That brother that you just seen on the screen that was talking about he was a farmer, yo, he trying to live a regular life and live and get a living wage. He ain't out in these streets committing crimes and all this old other stuff. He just trying to get a living wage. But y'all then, and it's so crazy how they bring the white South Africans over here and then y'all try to pay them more. See? So what you think going over here between whites and blacks now? We talking about African whites. Well, you know, that's a misnomer, but we talking about whites that came from Africa, like just now, and now you're still going to pay them more than you pay the foundational Black Americans that don't have a whole bunch of degrees and all this stuff. Like, that's crazy. So we know what you've been doing to the white people who've been here the whole time. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe button, family. I'm about to get up out of here, but yeah, I wanted to bring that to y'all attention, man. Shout out to the brother in Mississippi, and shout out to that lawyer who out here helping the Black family in Mississippi, trying to get their justice, man, because that's what it is. We all about this restorative justice and economic justice, nigga. We want that bread.
Is not a nicety. It's not something nice to have for Black folk. It is now an absolute necessity. If you do not get reparations soon, Black folk, as I told you before, are through. Reparation is not a nicety, it's a necessity. What are the conditions? What are the conditions that precipitated Black folk getting into this dilemma? And what Black labor, white wealth did, it tracked 800 years of history in very systematic terms to show you every strategy, every technique, every law, every public custom, and every public policy that was used to enslave Black folk around the world and to maldistribute almost 100% of all this nation's wealth, power, resource, privileges, businesses, and controls of all levels of government into the hands of the dominant white society. And what slavery and Jim Crow segregation did with Black folk, it intentionally maldistributed all the resources away from Black folk and created a real-life monopoly game. Black folk in America are playing in a real-life monopoly game that you're totally ill-prepared to play and win.